Hi, and welcome to my public and community health topic presentation. My name is Aaron Johnson, and for my topic, I have chosen to go over the youth gun violence issue, particularly in Wilmington, Delaware. So I'm just going to go over a little bit of background information on Wilmington for context. Wilmington is Delaware's largest city. And fun fact, more than half of all Fortune 500 companies, their corporate offices are based in Wilmington. And so the overall population of Wilmington includes about 70,851 people. This is coming from Wilmington, Delaware's official website and includes a study done in 2010. The median household income for this population is about $38,386. And included, I have shown a graph of the overall demographics. So here is information on youth gun violence in the United States as a whole. Children and young adults, this consists of individuals who are 24 years of age and under, constitute 38% of all firearm deaths and non-fatal injuries. Firearm injuries are the cause of death of 18 children and young adults each day. So obviously this is an issue for the whole country, not just Wilmington. In the United States, approximately 4.6 million minors live in homes with at least one loaded and unlocked firearm. More than 75% of guns used in suicide attempts of 0 to 19-year-olds were stored in the residence of the victim. 73% of children aged 9 and under reported knowing the location of their parents' firearms, and 36% admitted that they had handled the weapons, including many whose parents had reported their children did not know the location of their firearm. So, included in this slide, I have shown the youth gun violence issue, particularly in Wilmington. As we can see by the included graph, this is all of the people aged 12 to 17 injured or killed annually, and it's per 1,000. So we can see with Wilmington that it's about 3.4 thousand people aged 12 to 17 that are injured or killed annually. And we can see that the next city on the graph, Chicago, Illinois, is about 1.7 thousand. And so we can see by the graph that while Wilmington has a way lower population than Chicago, more kids are killed by guns than in Chicago and these other cities that have a way larger population. So why is youth gun violence more common in Wilmington than in these other cities? Poverty and a sense of hopelessness is a common trait in most of the violent neighborhoods in Wilmington. Many of Wilmington's teen shootings in the past 2.5 years can be traced to a retaliatory gang war among city youth that erupted in only one night in January of 2015. Each time a teen is shot or killed, revenge runs hot among friends of family of the injured. And John Jay College of Criminal Justice in New York estimates that there are 30 active street gangs in Wilmington, and they are responsible for most of Wilmington's crime. So basically what we can see here is a classic circle of violence that is very common in low-income areas. One shot alone could have started a chain reaction of revenge. It could have set Wilmington to be in the state that it is in terms of youth gun violence. So what would my solution be? There's a couple different things that I believe that could help reduce gun violence. And so the first, I believe, would be to pass gun laws that actually reduce gun violence. Studies find that strong firearm laws in states such as background checks for all private sales and restrictions on multiple purchases were associated with lower rates of gun homicides. Research has also found links between right to carry laws, which require governments to issue concealed carry permits to citizens who meet certain requirements, and spikes in firearms crime. Gun violence restraining orders. These allow family members or law enforcement to petition a court to temporarily bar an at-risk person from buying firearms, as well as permission to confiscate their guns. Studies have been done in Connecticut that have shown that for every 10 to 20 gun seizures, this prevents a suicide. So the other side of this solution would be worried that all guns are being taken away in this scenario. And in this solution, this wouldn't be the case. It would just be either temporary or at a certain point a permanent ban for any at-risk person. And I don't believe that anyone would argue against the fact that if someone has shown repeated gun violent crimes, that they shouldn't be allowed to have them. Another solution that I would have would be to increase gun education. The American Academy of Pediatrics, or AAP, recommends that pediatricians start asking about firearms in the home when children are 3 years old and curious about the world. Some states actually have sought to prevent doctors from talking about guns with patients. An example of this would be a law that was passed in Florida in 2011 that threatened physicians with suspending their medical licenses and would accrue fines if they inquired about and discussed a family's firearm. Another solution would be to recognize gun violence as a critical and preventable public health issue. By acknowledging gun violence as a public health problem, it would allow support for community planning and implementation of comprehensive safety plans that could include prevention and also interventions. And health systems. We could establish comprehensive health systems in which violence prevention is a health system responsibility and also an imperative. So included, I have linked two websites for prevention education materials. The first one is the American Public Health Association, and on their website they go over many different topics and issues regarding just gun violence as a whole. And also included, I've linked the website for the Children's Safety Network. This goes over topics and issues specifically regarding youth violence and prevention. So overall, as the United States suffers from gun violence as a whole, places such as Wilmington, Delaware, suffer from large amounts of youth gun violence in comparison to other higher population cities. Research has proven that these rates can be lowered with efficient gun laws and treated youth gun violence and gun violence as a whole as a public health issue, providing quality gun education as well as providing health systems that provide community support and violence prevention. And something that I didn't touch too much on, but increasing the quality of life for the minority groups of those in Wilmington, Delaware, would also help alleviate some of these gun violence rates. And included are my references. And that is my presentation for my public and community health topic. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.